Hello everyone, I'm Brian. Today I'm writing to Does Life on Earth Have a Purpose? Lakhani, or Hindu Academy. There's a couple of ways you can look at it. I guess in terms of Advaita Vedanta is to be enlightened. In terms of the materialistic world, there are two things for the materialistic world. One is the baser animal instincts, which is to reproduce, or the I don't know what the other one's called, but the other one being you create your purpose, and that purpose is whatever you want it to be. I've always thought that your this is your chance to do what you wish, for the most part. Obviously, not harm people, but this is your chance to either just have a boring life, a great life, a life full of achievements, a life of changing lives. Whatever you deem to be very purposeful for yourself, fulfilling for yourself. Obviously, without the harming of other people. That is one thing that you cannot do. So Advaita Vedanta is to be enlightened, I believe, and then the other one, the nature, is to reproduce, and the materialistic being whatever you create your own purpose, whether it be selfish, which would be fine, to be selfless, which would be great, but don't cause harm to others, and I think that's pretty universal. Anyways, let's go and get started.
This bothers everybody. What's the reason for this bother? It is in a way something within you stirring up and saying, sort yourself out, my friend. Who the heck are you? What are you doing here? That is the big question that all human beings face. You are a religious person or a secular person. We all want to see what is the purpose of all this. Why? If suppose you are a secular person, want big house, big car, holidays, etc. What's it? It's all going to kind of get snuffed out. It gets forgotten, lost. I put my rubber stamp on my name on this particular hole because I've donated money. What is it? It's just going to dust, crumble away. So what is all this about? And this is the big question. So whenever you get this stirring up saying, what is the purpose of life? What is this about? You are in a way showing that the underpinning to yourself is stirring up, trying to resolve this issue. This is saying sorting yourself out, my friend. And this is the whole enterprise of Dharma, sorting ourselves out. Who are we? What is going on? This stirring up is very important. Will it produce a result? The result is as follows. The result is this. It will in a way ask you to dig deeper regarding who you truly are and what is the nature of this reality. And when the journey is that severe, that sincere, and that disciplined, it will take you to the jackpot. It will give you the jackpot. You'll get a prize. The prize is this. This question that is bothering you, needling you, kind of sticking you on the side like a thorn, will suddenly take you to its destination. Well, this is the only good thing about these such questions. It will needle you, it will push you into a corner, and until you say, I must sort myself out. What the heck is going on? And then you see the deeper dimension that you possess will become revealed to you. And when the deeper dimension is revealed to you, do you know what happens according to the great prophets? The question drops off.
Mm-hmm.
What is the purpose? Why this creation?
It doesn't matter anymore.
It just drops off. The right word is drops off. This is the reality. So you say this thing that was bothering me will push me into a corner where I resolve my human condition, and that resolution comes with the idea these questions drop off. All these questions appear how can it be? Surely it's relevant. Even if you can attain your destination, a lot of people are struggling here. So come on, give an answer. They say, you sort yourself out, forget about others. They'll sort themselves in due course of time. And this is the whole enterprise of Dharma, sorting ourselves out. Who are we? Big question. What is why? Why are we here? This is what the Upanishads address.
I will say, if you follow Bhakti Yoga, though, which is just pure devotion to God, then you don't have to sort yourself out. But Jnana Yoga does, Raja Yoga does, Karma Yoga, I don't necessarily think does. It's more of a disconnect between your actions and your feelings to you. So, that makes it seem like you have to know who you are first to disconnect yourself. But I think you can. I mean, I think I have, not completely, of course, disconnected myself from, well, I don't think I disconnected myself. I think I understand that I have to do something, but I think what I disconnected myself from is not necessarily my actions, but I think I disconnected myself from perhaps the results. So I am still connected to my actions, as in I see, this is me doing this, this is me doing this, but the results is what I'm not attached to or connected to. So if it turns out bad, I don't necessarily look at it as like I'm sad, I'm crying, I'm mournful or whatever. It's more like for me, it's a learning experience. So it's not necessarily it's a bad thing that it happens, of course, but I'm not suffering from it. I am using it as an opportunity to learn. Um, so that's let's see, is that karma yoga? I think karma yoga I think I do believe it to be a complete disconnect from the activity that your body does and who you are. So you do things understanding that you are not the you're not the doer, which to me is a bit troublesome. I think because that's it's really weird when you state that it's like you're not the doer. It's not me doing this, which in terms of responsibility doesn't sound like, oh well, I'm not the doer, I'm not responsible for my action. That sounds terrible. So dharma, but dharma says you're supposed to play out. But I guess in terms of karma and dharma, dharma I do believe from my understanding is that you're supposed to play your role as a father, a brother, a friend, a co-worker, a worker, a CEO, or whatever it may be. You're supposed to do your job. um, and then karma is something similar. Perhaps dharma falls under karma. I'm not exactly sure, but again, you're supposed to do action without attachment. Now, I don't know whether it's attachment to the actions as well or the attachment to the results. For me, it's the attachment to the results. But I may be, I won't say hypocritical, but if it's a good result, I enjoy it. If it's a bad result, I don't suffer from it, but I learn. I use it as a opportunity to learn, to better myself. So there is, and I don't know if you could call it an attachment, but it would seem like it because I enjoy the results of something that's good, and I use the results of something bad as a learning opportunity. It's not to say that all results that end up bad, I always use it. I never suffer from it. I wouldn't doubt there are certain situations where I do. Obviously, I'm not enlightened, so therefore I will suffer from that stuff. But for the most part, I use it as a learning opportunity. I think I think I said everything. I think. But again, he was talking about how finding out who you truly are, which I do believe Raja Yoga and Jnana Yoga does fulfill that purpose. But karma, kinda not really, because you do need to be able to detach yourself from your actions and results. And in order to detach yourself from it, you need to identify who you are, but not necessarily. Again, I have detached myself in some degree, but not completely. So maybe that's the reason why. And then Bhakti Yoga, it's not necessarily detached. I guess it is detachment to some degree because you're supposed to give everything up to God. Worship God, do the best you can, and let God handle the results. So in that sense, there's still not discovering who you are, but just giving up your actions to God. So I don't know. I mean, I don't think the in terms of Bhakti Yoga, the purpose is not to discover who you are, but it's to give up everything, I guess, of who you are to God. And in Karma Yoga, I'm not sure honestly, but again, there's this detachment between your actions and who you are. But do you really need to discover who you are to have that detachment? I'm not exactly sure. It seems like it, but I'm just not 100% sure. Jnana Yoga is the ability to identify who you are not, to find out who you are, and then Raja Yoga is to meditate on who you are. Meditation as opposed to intellect, I suppose, in terms of Jnana Yoga and Raja Yoga. So anyways, if I'm wrong on any of that, let me know in the comments below. If you like my reaction, please consider subscribing, thumbs up, thumbs down down below. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next vid.